Now it's Georgia from Ruva Real Estate Agency. And I'm very, very happy that today we will have this webinar and discussion together. So, welcome to another masterclass by Ruva Real Estate Agency. I hope everyone is very well and excited to join us and hopefully to meet you all soon in Corfu. Let's give some time for everyone to log in. And in the meantime, please feel free to send us your messages. We have at your screen, actually, you can see that we have right now and throughout the webinar a chat. You can leave all your comments or your questions there. I will do my best, really, to answer all of the questions. If I miss something, sorry, but we will get back to you with an email, phone call, or any way that you prefer. So leave your details and your comments, and we will get back to you. So today we have a very interesting topic. I'm sure you all consider that before actually start buying real estate or see why or where you can buy real estate. So today we will break down all the details of what are the related costs, for example, and what you can actually do, which are the benefits, or what is the procedure when you buy real estate in Greece. So let's start with our presentation. If you have ever been in Corfu, please do let us know also. It would be very nice if all of you just tell us which is the perfect place for you, or if there is something specific that you love about Corfu or Paxos. We would be very happy to share some experiences here about why we love Corfu and Paxos, and also to give an idea to the people that have never been in Corfu what Corfu is like. So this would be also very nice. Do feel free to leave us the comments and tell us, oh, someone already told us that you have been here for 3 times in Corfu. Well, that's amazing. I'm sure you had a great time actually on the island. So feel free to catch up with us and have this conversation today for 1 hour. So let's dive in. Why Greece? This is the first big question. When you want to buy real estate, you know it's all about location, location, location. So, of course, Greece, you know that it's a very investor-friendly place because the state has already initiated some great programs such as the Golden Visa program and very nice benefits like when you want to come and invest, they really facilitate it. Of course, it is a nice destination. That's why we're very eager to discuss about your favorite places, because I know that even if you haven't been in Greece, you would love to come here for vacation. And there is a reason for that. It's the weather, the people, the food, the accessibility. It's very easy to come and go, to travel to so many destinations. For example, here in Corfu, we have our international airport where you can fly to so many countries. So the boat, the marinas, you can actually connect so easily. Of course, when you buy something, you also need, even if it is for residential use, you need to know that this is a safe investment. In Corfu, what we have seen is that the market is very strong. So you know that your money is they are safe. It's a good investment in real estate. And not only that, but you can actually achieve a high return on investment because the market here is strong, even in the tourism sector. So you can actually rent it while you're not here, or you can do it just for investment and make sure that you have some return on investment, which is a quite good actually in Corfu. You could say that it's about 6 to 10%. Now, let's dive into a bit more specific things. In Greece, there is a process for everything. There is a process for the due diligence, which is very, very important. Now, this is the reason we are all together here today. When buying something, everywhere in the world, actually, you need to make sure that all the legal papers and the technical papers are in order. This applies also in Greece. So you need to make sure that you have the right experts by your side in these processes and make sure that what you're buying is safe and that it's okay for you to go on. So today, in a nutshell, we are having this webinar to go through the procedure, what the procedure of actually buying real estate in Greece would be, and then what are the costs involved to that. Oh, and thank you all for already starting to sharing your comments and thoughts on Corfu. We have someone today with us who has just returned 3 weeks ago, actually, from Corfu. They were staying close to San Stefanos, and they would actually like this location. Yes, I could see why. Someone else was in Agios Matheos, okay, in October. And that is the living proof, actually, that people come even in October, even in November. So we have a very extending season because the weather is so great here. So it's a great investment. It's a great place to stay. And let's see now how we can make this actually happen for all of you. So progressing to our next topic. Let's start. First things first. How do you actually find the property? Well, of course, we need to do the research that is necessary. We hear your needs. We see what you really want and how you dream your life, how you would actually like to live. What is the lifestyle that suits you better? We do the research and then you need to select and just fall in love with the property that it's the right for you. Once that is done, then okay, we have done the viewings and you inspect the properties. When that is done, you make the offer. So by closing the financial deal, we are starting now to go to the completion of your journey, which is that we sign a pre-contract. This is a way, it's an agreement actually that you can do and you can proceed to the due diligence. It's a safe way to proceed to the due diligence. So now, let's say that we have successfully found the one true house for you, your family, your friends, but the one that really has a unique place in your heart or your investment plan. So let's say we find this property. Then we need to start the next steps for the completion. So it is very, very important to do the following steps. In order to be able to purchase a property in Greece, you need to open a tax number. With this tax number, you can open, and some other documents that are required, you can open the bank account in Greece. This is very important. All funds related to purchasing real estate should actually come from the main buyer's account abroad to their bank account in Greece. So that is an important issue as well. And of course, the last step after the due diligence and everything is happened is to sign the final contract or the preliminary contract. It is a notarial actually. And then to obtain the land registry certificate which is something that says that you have actually successfully transferred the title to your name. So after this fourth step, congratulations, you have managed it. Now you have a property in beautiful Greece. So it sounds quite simple, I suppose, so far, isn't it? I mean, 4 steps. Well, it's not that simple, to be honest. That's why I say again, it's very important to have a team that can actually support you, good lawyers, good accountants, and that they can make this a very good and stress-free experience. Thankfully, after 20 years of experience in the island, we do have a very extended network of collaborators, and we can highly recommend you people who work, of course, in any field that you may need, from buying your furniture to actually needing someone for your tax issues. So it's a very nice thing to meet you, listen to your needs, and go through the details. Now, you may ask me, with everything that happened, we have been through COVID and many, many things the last 2 or 3 years. So, what has really been into our lives is the remote system of working on doing stuff. Well, buying real estate in Greece is not an exception on that. And what I mean by that is that by giving actually a power of attorney to a lawyer, we to someone, but we highly recommend that to be a lawyer or to a due diligence coordinator, someone who has the legal knowledge. You can actually proceed and do all of that remotely by simply have a representative in Corfu Island in Greece, opening the bank account for you, issuing the tax number for you, and doing all the applications and whatever may be needed. So you can do actually remote all the steps with some small exemptions in relation to the golden visa, which initially can still happen remotely, and you can only come for the last step now. So it's a great time now to really find a place and start this whole procedure remotely. So even by giving a power of attorney to an embassy, or by when you're here in Corfu, leaving a power of attorney to someone to represent you while you're not here. So you have your own person here in Corfu anytime you may need them. And we have some questions, so give me one moment to go through them. Oh, how is it easy to open a bank account? Thank you for that. If you have the right person, it's very easy because each bank requests the specific documents that you need to collect, give. One of them, again, I'm saying it's the tax number in Greece that you need to open before that. So your authorized representative can do that for you. You just need to send the right set of documents to them. How we find a lawyer? That is a great question. There is an extended network. There are, like specialties also here in Greece. There are some people that they work more with criminal law or with real estate law. We do have the chance to know all of the lawyers that work with the legal and the real estate legal issues. So finding a lawyer, there's no issue with that. We have highly competent lawyers in Corfu with real local knowledge. And at this point, allow me to say how important it is to find a legal representative who is local. Meaning that they really know the local restrictions and regulations that apply in Corfu specifically, because each place has their own unique regulations. Of course, there is the law, which is general, but many things in the building authorities or in the registry offices may be different. Also have in mind that Corfu now is starting to have a cadastre, which is the online registration of the properties. So in order to make sure that everything is registered properly, you do need to have some legal advice. This could be a consultancy company who has a team of lawyers, tax representatives, anything that you may need, or a law firm directly. So you choose, really. And now going on. Okay. Let's stay a bit longer on the closing. So how are we actually closing the house and the deal that we want to make sure that this will be safeguarded as long as the due diligence is happening or we are going to the final contract? It is very important to know that the buyer also assigns the case to the notary. The notaries in Greece, they are public, they are employees, let's say, of the state. So they are neutral. They have the public authority to execute and to make the proper checks of the papers. So they are very, very important. Again, we have high competent people, notaries here in the island, that they can really process all kinds of transactions relating to real estate. So this is one thing that you need also to have in mind. So we need the lawyer and we need also the notary. Then, as we said, you can even sign the final contract and you can even sign the preliminary contract if there is such one, the pre-contract, remotely through your representative. So you see the house that you love, but you will stay in Corfu like what, 3 or 4 days, even a week, and then you need to go back home. In order to make sure that you don't need to catch a flight every time and come back and go, so you reduce also the costs, as you understand. You give a power of attorney, and while you're away, someone else prepares everything that you need to make sure that you only come for signing and taking the keys of your new house, or just they sign and you just get the keys directly. This applies also for if you're buying a plot, okay, not just a house. So no matter actually the what we are buying, if it is a house, a plot, an apartment, a project, which means off plan, something, if we buy something off plan, still your representative with a power of attorney can actually do that for you. So we highly recommend that when we meet and we are during your research in finding the right property for you, to understand the legalities. Have in mind that we as real estate agency, Rula Ruva Real Estate, we are trying the best, of course, to know and collect the papers in advance, so we know what we offer. Of course, there is always the need of a lawyer to further do a deeper due diligence on the deeds, because we are not lawyers. So we highly recommend hiring a lawyer and a technical team, even just an engineer, to really check the property, so you have your mind free of any hassles. Just sign happily, take something that is ready, and you can go on. We have another question. Do we need a notary even if you are present and have a lawyer? The notary is mandatory because when you are buying something in Greece, in real estate, this is a very serious business. So in order that so that is official and the state recognize you as the new owner, it needs to be done by one of their officials. And in this case, it is the notary. the notary, and only the notary, is authorized to make a transaction in relation to real estate in Greece. It cannot happen through a private agreement. To have the complete freehold of a property, you need to have to sign actually a notarial contract. There are various forms depending on the deal you will actually close with the seller, what kind of contract you will sign, and that is more related to the way of payments, if it will be with installments or if it will be one-off. But for sure, you need a notary. Lawyers are not actually mandatory, but we highly recommend that you have a consultancy company, someone that will represent you in legal issues, because you need to make sure, and because of the language barrier, that someone with a local knowledge can actually check the papers and the deeds, and if there are any burdens and everything. We have another question. Are there home inspections to confirm the structural integrity of the house after the offer but before the closing? Thank you. Thank you for that question. As I said, we highly recommend that you have an engineer to check the structural and to check if there are any issues relating to the house. That mainly happens when the offer is given and we sign like a simple agreement that yes, one agrees to sell, the other agrees to buy, and there is a deposit. So at that point, the engineer actually jumps in to check that everything is okay. And we have established the procedure that so you are safe actually during that procedure if there are any major issues of the house, which is not frequent, to be honest, because the issues are always overcome, and we have a highly trained team that they always find the right solutions. So whatever the issue might be, there is the solution as well. Okay. So let's dive in a bit now, the costs. So now that we know the procedure, we know that we need to find the property to close it. We can do it remotely. What is also very important to have in mind when purchasing is what we call the additional cost. So you have the price that there is the deal with the house and the price that you have set on it. And then you need to consider, of course, the costs involved in that. So you can estimate approximately 9 to 10% on top of the purchase price. That includes the agency fees, the notary fees, the lawyer fees, also the public registration fees. Because remember, we said that the final contract actually needs to be registered to the land registry so that the transaction is complete 100%. And of course, then you have the property tax, the property transfer tax, which is paid actually when everything is checked and we are ready to go for a final contract. Before that, before signing the contract, like 1 day before, 3 days before signing the contract, and that is included in the contract that this has been paid. So it's the really last step. And we have another question, so give me one moment. Can I consider the property mine from the time of I pay the advance? You can consider the property subject to contract, which means that the viewings have stopped and now we are in the process of due diligence. So it's not legally yet yours, okay? It means that you have some time with your team to check that everything is in order, so you are buying something with safety, and then it becomes yours with a notarial contract. You need either a pre-contract, which is notarial, and then a final contract. But only with the final contract, which is 100% of the rights transferred to you, you have complete ownership on a property. So let's break down the costs. These are only for guidance. You always need to check with your agency, notary, and everything, to double check everything, because it depends on many parameters, such as the complexity of a case. But you will have a general idea, and you would be right if you consider about 9 to 10% above the purchase price. So we have the property tax transfer, which is always that, though, have in mind, it's never more than that. It's 3.09. So you have this idea as a percentage of the price, of the purchase price. Now let's see that, one moment, are notary fees determined by law like in Estonia? Yes, they are actually. It is for the notaries, but you always need to speak with the notary, because it might, your case might include more than just one deed sometimes. So this is quite a legal thing, but there is a rule, yes, about what they can really, the notaries. But again, it depends on the complexity, how many papers or how many deeds need to happen. There is, that's why we always say that you need to estimate 9 to 10 above the price, okay? What are the taxes involved if I decide to sell the property in the future? I'm particularly interested if the property is on a company name. Great question, thank you. That would also be related on the finances of the company itself. If it is the only asset of the company, if other assets are involved, and if it was operating as, for example, if it was operating for rentals and it has income, then it is, the tax there relates to more things, such as the income of the company itself. So we could discuss this more in one-to-one sessions, so I understand exactly your business plan to give a more proper answer of that. The property tax, transfer tax, relates to people who are actually buying, the individuals, not companies, individuals who actually buy real estate in Greece. And it used to be higher, actually. So right now it is in a very good, because it used to be 10%. So now it is a very good percentage for you. And you can do that and get the house that you want. As I mentioned, you pay some days actually before the final contract. This is the procedure, how that goes. Only when your lawyer gives you the okay, or your due diligence coordinator or your representative, your team, that you are okay, and you can proceed. And that applies for all properties, either they are plots or it really doesn't matter what kind. It is about all properties. So we have some other questions. Mm-hmm. The Greek system is a bit different. We have a question about the fees than the UK system. In Greece, actually, it is allowed by law a real estate agency to represent both sides. So that means that we are, as I said in a previous masterclass, matchmakers. We are really trying to find the right property that matches your needs, that will satisfy you, so that both sides are happy at the end of the day, but always having your needs as a priority to find the right property for you. Now, what we have also discussed a lot with all of our buyers so far is that, do I have to pay a property tax after my purchase in Greece? So we do have this question a lot. Thankfully, it is quite, relatively to the rest of Europe at least, it is a quite low tax. Approximately, you can estimate 3 to 8 euros per square meter. Of course, that can change depending on the area, depending on the type of the property and the location, actually. That is the most important thing. So, yes, you do pay each year. That's why it's very important to make sure that you have an accountant in Greece as well, that they keep track of what you need to pay and do your tax declarations each year. Even if you don't have any other activities in Greece, it's good to have someone here checking your tax issues and submitting the tax declarations, because you also might have some tax returns. And so you need to have someone representing you as an accountant so you can actually take the tax returns. It's a very good thing to have someone knowing what they're doing and be competent in this field to get maximum benefits out of it. And now let's go to the crucial thing if you're actually thinking to relocate in Greece, which is, of course, how much you need to spend here if you want to stay in Corfu. Again, these are very approximate, very approximate prices there and costs of living, because they really depend on the lifestyle, on what your hobbies, of course. If you want to fly a helicopter or a small aeroplane, I suppose this budget may not cover your hobby. So you should really have in mind that it really depends on the life that you want to build in Corfu. You will be actually fascinated by the variety of things that you can do: horse riding, hiking, theater, musical. We are famous for our music here in Corfu. Did you know that we have more than 15 philharmonic bands actually at the island? You should be here on an Easter. It's magical when they all go outside playing this beautiful music on the small alleys of Corfu town. All of Corfu town is just echoing the amazing music of the bands. So you can truly do anything you might want here in Corfu. And I'm very happy to tell you that on the 17th of November, there will be actually another lifestyle related webinar. So you can explore the most luxurious part of living in Corfu, as it will be all about 1 million plus properties. So that will be the beginning of a lifestyle section of our webinars, where you can go through different lifestyles. Now, let's say that you want 100 for utilities, let's say approximately 300 for food, 200 for healthcare. We do highly recommend to have enough active healthcare insurance actually while you're in Greece. But if you don't have, let's say that this is an average cost that you may need. And we have some questions also. Annual house insurance. Yes, that is possible. You can have an insurance for your house if you want, against physical, against the weather or theft or things like that. You can do that, but to be honest, here in Corfu, for example, the crime rates are extremely low. It's sometimes you don't even understand that you are in a vibrant city, in the center of the city actually, because you feel so safe. So of course you can do it, even if the house is a bit more distant than Corfu town or a village, and if that makes you feel more safe. Again, it depends on the location and the type of the property. So we need to have a one-to-one consultation to understand what you're looking for, to better answer about the costs. If you need to find insurance companies in Greece, of course, we can recommend you, so you can contact them and have your own idea and do your own research then on the packages and what they offer. Costs about the tax declaration annually. How much would an accountant charge? Once again, it really depends on the activities that you will do here in Greece. If it is just a very simple tax declaration, it could be from 50 to 100 euros per year, but that really depends on what you are actually doing in Greece. And of course, if you are, let's say, a tax resident here in Greece, that might be different. And we will do also another webinar at some point. Do let us know if that would be interesting actually in the comments about what are the benefits when you're becoming a tax resident in Greece. Because many of you might not know, but especially for retired people, the ones who want to spend their retirement days here in Corfu and Paxos in Greece, there are amazing benefits when you are becoming a tax resident. You have very, very low taxation at your income. So if that is interesting to you, do let us know in the comments. So here we can say that you need in a month approximately 1,700 euros. Again, this is a very rough estimation. Somebody could make it less than that, or okay, more. There is no limit in that, but you could also make it less than that. We can see that actually it is a very good value, a quality of life for what you actually need to spend in a month. You have a very good quality life here, very good food, local products, biological products. So from food to experiences to traveling, it's quite easy to put that all in a budget here. And to summarize our services for you, and I will come back now after that to your questions actually, because I can see that you have a lot of questions. We can actually help you and be part of your journey to find the property that is right for you. That is very important. You are searching for a property to build some new memories, to have fun, to make money out of it, to create an investment for you or for your family, to leave a legacy for your children. We know that this is something serious for you, and we are here to make it happen. How? By simply listening to you and then finding the right property for you. Well, so we discussed last time that if you buy a house of 250,000 euros or more, you are anyway also eligible for the golden visa. So that is another extra thing that we can guide you and we can give you information about that. Also, there are some really important issues, like from our experience and from what we have seen so far about how you can relate to other expertise and professionals here in Corfu that can truly help you specialized on what you want to do on the island, on your investment plan, on your life goals, let's say. And of course, if you want to do restoration, if you want to do renovation, if you even want to build your brand new house that is, you just get the key, nobody else has ever lived in that, we also can be part of that. So we can get you in contact with the people that can actually deliver you what you will see designed and make it exactly like that in you, hassle-free, to 12 to 18 months. So it's a great opportunity as well. If you are looking forward to in building, we can still have one-to-one sessions with a construction team, so they can go through your plan and why not finding the plot that you love and then go on and creating something beautiful for you. So let's go through now a bit of the questions, because I can see, and I'm very happy about that you all have many questions. So okay. So we have a question about the 20% rule of an offer. That actually you need to hear. I will take some time to explain that. You need to understand that right now and always that has been like that. Corfu has remained very strong in the market. No matter the financial crisis or COVID or what happened, Corfu has stand. The prices have never really dropped, which makes it a very safe investment for you. It's a very strong market, and the prices, from what the national bank at least says, and the prices actually in the economy as it grows might even go up and higher. So actually, if you want to give an offer, make sure that is a reasonable offer, because there is a lot of demand. So you need to have that in mind, and we will try the best, of course, to make this happen for you. So we have some more questions about the taxation and running a business in Greece. Okay, so that is actually a very big conversation to open a bank in a business, sorry, in Greece. So yes, we do actually might need to do a separate masterclass on that, perhaps involving someone of the tax experts on the island. So you can do it quite easily. There are, as the business mindset changes, so the laws needs to change. So you can establish a company quite easy nowadays, and with not as a big capital. Again, if you want to do something like that, the most important thing is to have good support system, to have good lawyers, to have good accountants, to make sure that you are always in alignment with your responsibilities to the Greek state. The real estate tax transfer in Greece is the same, no matter if it is a new or an old property. At some point, there were discussions for the newly built constructions from construction companies that this would change, but so far that hasn't happened. So either it is an old or a new one, the property tax transfer, it is the same. So if you actually close something now and you buy something now, that tax will apply for your case. How realistic is it to construct a house if you cannot be present all the time, especially as a single woman? Thank you. That is actually a great question. That's why we have the team that actually can do the project management for you, sending you images and videos of every stage of a property. And of course, in that cases, you speak with the team and you make sure that you pay, of course, some part of it before in advance, and then in installments as the construction is growing. And we can reassure you that we have already many satisfied clients actually that have now their brand new properties or their renovations, and they are extremely happy with that, because in this case you can actually get what you want. There are some development projects already listed on our website where you can buy off plan, meaning that what is in the 3D plans, you can actually have it in reality. And we will send to anyone who is interested some proposals so they have an idea of what would be the cost of acquiring a completely newly built property in Corfu. And of course, they are also for sale. So if you like it, you can put an offer on it. Okay, so what if I find the property I like represented by another agency? Can you represent that property? We can represent you as a buyer and actually find any property that you want. We are very happy to collaborate with other agencies. So if you like another property that happens and is not in our portfolio, even though our portfolio is about 2,000 properties, but okay, it might happen. Then we are very happily able to represent you as a buyer to safeguard your interests and make this happen for you. It's very important for us at this point to let you know that our team always works and is motivated to make your dreams come true. We really love what we are doing, and we really love meeting all of you. And this is our like ethical rewarding at the end of the day, that we know that this has really worked out for you. And there are whole friendships that have been built during these years. One of our agents even helped the couple to organize their wedding after buying a house here, which is a very nice and touching story. So of course we will be always here for you, before, during, and after finding your house. So no reason to worry about that. So we do have some other questions. Other mortgages or all cash? Well, thank you for bringing that up, actually, because we do have some very, very good news. You know that during the financial crisis some years ago, the mortgages were not so easily given to people from abroad. Now we can say that there is this opportunity. We do collaborate with the biggest banks in Greece that actually just, to be able to contact with the right person in the headquarters. And of course, you take it off from that directly with the bank. We are not involved at all. And they can tell you, based on your plan and based on your background, what is the amount that actually could be funded to you. If you are within the Eurozone and your incomes are in euro, of course it's even much more easy to do that. But they are trying to find solutions and they have actually for Great Britain. So that is quite exciting news also for United Kingdom, that there is a way now to actually apply for a mortgage online. So if that is something that you are interested, do contact us, because you can start the application for a loan in Greece online through an application. And that can only happen through authorized, let's say, collaborators. So we are one authorized collaborator of this specific bank. Do let us know if this is interesting to you, and we will send you the steps and the guidelines of what you need to do to get a pre-approval of a loan and later stage a loan. So we do have some other questions. I'm very happy that you're also participating in that. We have built our house and now building another one. have worked in construction for over 25 years in UK and now based in Corfu. Okay, so we'll contact you. Thank you a lot for reaching out. We will contact you. How developed is ecological building in Corfu at the level of materials, energy independence, water tanks? Corfu, of course, now is also going about the sustainability and eco-friendly constructions. You can find all kinds of materials in Corfu, and if it's not here, you can definitely ship it to Corfu. Big construction sites now have used high-tech technology about being, independent and being more sustainable. So that has been already started on the island. It's 100% possible. Is there an appraisal system in place? Is the current tax price based on existing value? Is this public information? Appraisal system. Well, you could have, there are two kinds of values in Greece. So there is the one value that is given by the tax authorities, and then there is the commercial value. These values don't always match because the criteria of the tax authorities are completely different from the markets. So sometimes they are close, sometimes they are different. So it's really what the market's price is there. You can reach out and have an official appraisal if you want on your own expenses. There are certified surveyors offering appraisals and offering actually evaluations of the market price. Our agents are actually doing that in a daily basis, and we are really careful on not taking overpriced properties because we do want to have a fair promise to the owner and a fair offer for the buyer. So have in mind that when you see a price, then we have always tried to make it appealing for the current market trends. What is more economic to build or to buy? That is actually a great question. You could buy if you want to buy something that you find it and it's ready to go. Then I don't know if it is let's say more cost effective or less costly, let's say, but it would be, I suppose, faster. On the other hand, if you want to have a bit of a control on the quality of the construction and the final touches, and you want it to be brand new and only you would be the first person to live in, and that is more valuable for you, then you go for a building. The important thing to understand is that you have two options. One is that you can do a customized construction, which will be based on your needs. And the second is that you can buy something which is already quoted, it already has a price. It is a project, a development project, and you can actually know from the beginning how much it costs exactly to get it ready. If a Greek bank account is necessary to buy real estate in Greece, so it is not exactly necessary. It is, though, very important to do it so you can prove and record the money so that you don't have any surprises later on. It's the best practice. That's what we have seen, to actually transfer the money from a bank account from abroad to a bank account in Greece that is in your name. If you're buying jointly with someone else, of course, you can open a bank account in both your names. So that is doable as well. It's the best practice so far to open a bank account in Greece. And I'm just going through some other questions. Do let us know if there is something else that you would like to discuss regarding the lifestyles or regarding the costs and the procedures. It's very important to understand that you need to find the property and be a bit quick then on the next steps, which is finding the lawyer who will represent you into the power of attorney. The rest, they are quite typical for the people who are experienced in these kind of transactions. So I know this might seem a lot, but they know then how to take it on, and you will be informed about the process, of course, thoroughly. And we can assist you and guide you even in that process. So we have another questions. How long does the process take to purchase a property in Corfu? You can estimate roughly about 3 months, given that we don't find any issues in the way that need to be resolved. Have in mind that that might be extended a bit if we are, let's say, in some public holidays or things like that. But of course, you are always stay tuned about the reasons and the solutions that they are provided by the experts on actually completing the procedure. What do lawyers charge? This is a very rough and estimated percentage. It's about 2% plus VAT on the purchase price. So that 2% is included actually to what we have given you earlier, which is the rough 10%, 9 to 10%. Paxos, lovely. Well, you can definitely live in Paxos throughout the year. The winter is much more quieter, of course, as you can understand, because most of the people that they do have villas and residences in Paxos, they come for spring until autumn. So winters are very quiet. If you're a person who cherishes being around nature and enjoy the beach when nobody else is there, probably nobody else, then yes, Paxos, you can definitely live there. Actually, there are many people that they are already living. They restored some beautiful stone houses and they doing yoga or they are working remotely from there. And said that there is also the digital nomad visa now in Greece. So if you are working in IT or other kind of employments, you can always work remotely from Paxos, why not, or Corfu. The VAT on Greece in general, not just Corfu, for now is 24%. So you will estimate that, for example, if it is 2% plus VAT, is 2% plus the 24 VAT. If I'm married but the owner should only be the one of us, is it possible to have just one name for tax and bank? Yes, it is possible. If you want to have only a property in your name, then you can do it in your name. You don't have to do it also in your spouse. Of course, if you want to do it in both your names, then you need also your marriage certificate or your cohabitation agreement to be submitted in the authorities, so they actually link your tax profiles. Okay, so another question that is related to our Golden Visa webmaster. You can all go back and see if you're interested also in our YouTube channel. If you are getting a Golden Visa in Greece, you cannot actually work as an employee in Greece. What is the solution to that actually? Is to rent the property, so you have some generated income. If you're not staying all year round on the property, then you can rent it at the time that you are not in Greece and have some money out of it. So you cannot work in Greece. If you want to work remotely for a company registered outside of Greece, of course, you can have your golden visa and be in Greece. There is no reason why not to. In this case, you might be also, though, eligible for a digital nomad visa, which is for 2 years. We actually might need to have a video also about that, a webinar. Golden Visa Remind is for 5 years, and it is extended to 3 generations, which is the children, spouse, and father and mother, the parents in general. So you cannot work, but you can have some rentals back, or you can buy a small business like a shop and rent it out if you want to. We have now a bit of a technical questions about a permit that is actually expiring in 2024. What we can be done to expand this license? Is this an easy process? I'm not quite sure because I don't have the papers on the legal issue of that, the legal aspect and the technical aspect of that, in what regulations, under which regulations actually the license is expiring. The most safe way to make sure that you will maintain it is to establish actually a skeleton, to have the construction with a roof in progress, so to make sure that this doesn't ever expire. If you don't have an engineer to go through your paperwork and consult you, we will get back to you to refer you someone, give them their folder, and have an expert's view on what you can do. But you need to know that if you have a building permit and you actually progress at some certain point the construction, then the building permit cannot actually expire. What's the process for a resident permission if you own property in Corfu? If you are already an owner of a property in Corfu, then we need to check if the property's price was more than 250,000, the commercial, the real property price, if it was more than 250,000 euros. If it was more than that, then we need to check a bit how the contract is drafted, the date, and the papers relating to it, and we can find the way to apply for a golden visa. If the price was less than 250,000, then we need to explore other options such as the financially dependent residency permit or the digital nomad permit now, which is a variation actually of the FIP, a financially dependent permit. Thank you. For construction, because I can see there is a lot of interest. It is a huge topic, actually. So it is much better, and I propose to do a separate webinar probably on that, because our time is a bit finishing now. It's a really big topic and I would really like to have someone from the team that can go through all the stages with you and explain to you all the costs involved. Please do your last questions, and don't worry, we'll be very back soon with you to discuss. I remind you that at the 17th of November, we have another webinar with my colleague George, who will explain to you all about the luxury real estate market in Corfu, the lifestyle, and that he will tell you what you can have as a return on investment if you invest in a top-end property also in Corfu, which is, I think, very exciting. Also, at this point, I would like to let you know that now you can attend also our digital open houses. During these open houses, you can walk through and see the properties as if you were there. These properties have been already checked up until a certain point, so you can make an offer, close it remotely. You don't even have to be here. We have everything that all the new upcoming digital open houses, they are posted on our Instagram page, so make sure to follow and see the beautiful real-time, this is very important, real-time digital open houses, live streaming from Corfu. You can see them make questions like you do to me now, real time, to the agents about the property and close it remotely. What is more exciting than that when you are a potential buyer? I couldn't be more thrilled actually to share that news with you. So make sure to follow us on Instagram. Amazing properties are coming. You will be able to be actually at the property with the agents, connect with them, learn great things about the property, the location, the neighborhood, everything, and make an offer online. This is very, very important. So thanks all of you. Thank you so much for attending. Rula Ruva Real Estate Agency is very, very excited to have all of you with you today with us. I'm gonna now close this beautiful webinar with one testimonial combination showing many, many lifestyles of people who have already chosen Corfu to be their paradise here on earth. So please enjoy it. Have a lovely day or evening from wherever you might be watching us, and see you on the islands. Bye-bye.
It was really easy to buy the house with the help of Rula Ruva Real Estate. Every time we walk into the house, we still remembered of all the good work that she did for us.
We were really lucky to find Rula Ruva Real Estate. She took us under her wing, listened to our wish list and showed us a variety of properties, starting naturally with ones that ticked all the boxes.
She's been there for us, she's been our contact, which has been really good, it's been really helpful, it's helped us enormously.
Είχαμε μια πολύ καλή συνεργασία από την αρχή. Η αλήθεια είναι όταν με πήρε τηλέφωνο και μου είπε ότι υπογράφουμε τα συμβόλαια, πίστευα ότι απλά μου κάνει πλάκα.
She became a friend and that made the whole experience very special. Yes. It made us feel at home.
We had a very pleasant experience with Rula, who helped us all the way with lawyers, notaries, engineers, and all the range of real estate professionals. She even helped us finding our wedding location, and she became a very good friend. Thank you so much, Rula.